Okay, so I'm Shayla,
Hi, I'm Kyle.
and we brought Brantley here when he was 8 years old, and we came to Brain Balance because of a lot of reasons. His behavior, his not listening, but we always knew something was off. He was in First Steps when he was 3 years old, but there was something always missing, and we couldn't figure it out. We went to therapy. We tried many different things.
We've thrown every dart at the wall trying to figure out
Something's
why is
off.
our child unable to behave in school? Why are we daily, weekly getting letters home from his principals? Why is he missing out on his recesses? Why is this version of him that we see at home not the version he's giving to the school and to other people?
Yeah.
And unfortunately for him,
it got
was
to
hurting
rock
him
bottom
too.
before
We're wondering
we
why
found it.
is he behaving more like our 2-year-old than he is like his own age of 8.
8 years old. He was,
we
he
really
was having
needed
his 2-year-old tantrums.
Mm-hmm.
We called it. I mean, 8 years old. He was acting
lying on the ground, kicking and screaming, straight up like a toddler.
Yep.
It was crazy to watch.
Yeah, I mean, letters from his teachers every week, almost every day. And so then we found here. And I'm so thankful for it. I could cry. I've cried in here many times. But we came here, and when we got him tested, and they explained like what was happening with his brain and how the right side wasn't caught up. And it was mind-blowing when they described everything, because it was like, oh my gosh, everything makes sense. I know I could cry. You can talk.
Yes,
so
as they explained his testing results, we were able to correlate it with his behavior so easily. It was like, okay, finally, I'm looking at something that makes sense for the behavior. Instead of all these therapy sessions, everything else we'd done, where we ended up answerless, and it was just kind of like, well, we don't know why he's doing that,
Our friends' kids were normal. We could all hang out, and all of them would get along, but Brantley always threw a fit. Brantley always was tantruming, and I'm like, he's 8. I don't know why he's doing this.
We couldn't show up to a family function without him being in tears in the first 5 minutes.
Or me in tears in the first 5 minutes.
Function in that public space.
So we found here, and we started the 6-month journey of rewiring the brain, or however we call it here, but I call it rewiring. They caught up the right side. So when he then went from sometimes ages like 3 and 4, he was acting, he sped up in 6 months to age 9.
Which was kind of bizarre.
It was actually really
9-year-old
crazy.
problems after having what was essentially, a mentally 4 or 5-year-old child for 4 years.
Yeah.
To have him accelerate through those years and dealing with the new problems, it was wild.
I mean, and he dipped only because he was going through all of those changes. And that's when I came in here. And I came in here without my husband, without anyone, and I started bawling my eyes out because I was like, I'm done. I don't know. He's changing so much and so fast, but like...
Well, then they pulled out the next age bracket sheet.
The age bracket, it's like, oh, that's how I'm supposed to do.
It made sense again. Yeah. He was supposed to be going through these next things. We just
had
been
no
dealing
idea.
Essentially with the same age group for 4 years.
Yep.
So any new behavior to us was like, what's going on?
I don't know how to do it.
He was actually growing, so...
He was growing fast.
Today he does amazing. Like, he ended up getting a certificate from his school for good behavior, which, I mean, for a kid, he spent found himself in the principal's office once a week.
Yep.
That was a pretty cool step up, right?
So now he listens in class. He gets graded every day, like on his behavior, and he gets 13s out of 13s every single day. That means basically his A+s every single day.
His
he knows
behavior
how to
has
listen.
been a perfect score for, I think, 2.5 months now.
Yeah, and
He's been doing great.
Yeah, and his grades have gotten a lot better.
Yes, they have. All AB honor roll.
His friendships have gotten a lot better as well. He used to really struggle with that. He'd always love to make friends. He was really always like, hey, can we be friends? But as the older he got, it worked when he was in kindergarten. But by the time he got to 2nd grade, even the beginning of this year, 3rd grade, the kids were like, you're weird almost. Because his communications were lacking. And but now he can make friends. He knows when friends aren't really friends. And he's capable of being the 9-year-old instead of just
it's been
the little Brantley.
Able to anger his manage his anger. He, no more tantrums. We haven't dealt with those in a long time, honestly.
Yeah.
He's become someone that you can reason with, essentially, right? You can explain to him, look, I understand you're upset. Let's get moving forward and out of this. And instead of screaming on the ground, he's like, I don't want to feel this way. Let's figure this out.
I know how to figure it out. And the beginning of this, 6 months ago, he was barely wanting to read his Dogman books, which are the comic books. Now he reads Harry Potter.
Right.
Full-blown Harry Potter books.
Honestly,
he
it came
reads
down to
an
the fact that
hour
he
a day.
barely could read the dog mans when we started.
Barely could read. And
His
now
eye
he can
tracking.
read.
So
Yep.
as we get all those fun test results, we found out one of his biggest issues was
Yeah.
his inability to track things with his eyes.
So we saw how he read,
Yep.
and he read. It didn't make
He
sense.
was looking all over the page.
And it's like, oh my
and
gosh.
It made sense when you'd watch him read.
No
and
wonder
have him
I
read
get so
to you.
frustrated. Like, dude, can you?
It was so slow. He was missing words. He was missing letters. He was
Yep.
mispronouncing words, or just straight up saying the wrong word. He'd see
He
the
didn't
first
know
letter and the
his
last
eyes
letter. And when it's
were messed
explained
up.
to us through all those testing results, how yes, that's how his eyes were working. They weren't seeing all of it.
Yeah. But
It's
now
like, okay, it makes sense.
he
So we
can
go through the
read.
process.
he can read.
So at home we were very, very vigilant about doing all of his exercises. We went all in on the diet.
Yep.
Which I miss goldfish.
I miss
So
goldfish.
it's been a little bit. You got to take a couple losses in there. But
we changed our
it's honestly
diet.
been good
We
for all of
ramped
us.
up the exercise at home as well. Changed the dyes, no dyes.
Yes.
We did all of these things because we went all in on it on purpose. We wanted to change our son's life, and this place did. And that's why it makes
More than
me,
just that, it helped us. It
It
helped
did.
us learn too. Now we've got this leg up as our 2-year-old grows up. When we start to recognize and see these
Yeah.
patterns or behaviors, well, we know the next steps in order to help
Yeah.
get her on the right path
It's like
and get her moving properly.
I know. And so now he is like excited, but he's like, what do I do without this place? Like, how am I gonna do more skills? And I was like, well, now you just can. And
For
we'll
the
always
first
work
time in
on
life,
it.
it feels like you get a little guidebook on how to parent. You know what I mean? Like, kids don't come with instructions, but you get a little bit of that here.
But when you see the quote unquote normal ones and yours is different, just know there always is help.
Mm-hmm.
There's always help, and we are a changed family because of this place. So.
We really are.
Mm-hmm.
Couldn't imagine where we'd be right now.
Yeah.
Honestly, we probably would have had to hold our son back into the 3rd grade again
Yep.
at the end of the school year.
But now AB honor roll. So
And
here we are.
Yep, on the
So,
back half, and he's AD honor
did
roll.
it.
Absolutely headed to 4th grade in success. We're just so proud of him.
Yeah. Aw.
So thank you, Brain Balance.
Thank you.